In the gray light of dawn, the bond between Serenya and Alpha Kaelen Blackthorn is no longer a secret. It's a battle neither of them can win. The wolves sense it. The air crackles with tension. One glance from him ignites her defiance, and one word from her tests the Alpha's control. But as the witches warned, no spell lasts forever. The charm that shields her heart is fading, and the wolf within her is starting to rebel. You're listening to The Velvet Story, where love burns, fate tests, and hearts surrender. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you're ready for the next chapter in this fated, forbidden love. The next morning dawned crisp and gray, a thin veil of mist curling across the training grounds. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and pine, but beneath it pulsed something thicker, raw tension that had nothing to do with the weather. Serenya tightened the leather straps around her forearm and took her place on the sparring circle. Her brother, Calder, was already there, his sharp gaze following Kaelen as the Alpha crossed the grounds like a shadow of storm clouds. Warriors straightened at his approach, some averting their eyes, others unconsciously lowering their heads. Serenya swallowed hard. She hadn't seen him since their confrontation outside the feast hall. She still felt the ghost of his touch on her cheek, still heard the raw plea in his voice. Please. Her wolf whimpered at the memory, pacing inside her like a caged thing. Serenya pressed her nails into her palm. No, we are not his. Not now. Not yet. Kaelen's eyes scanned the warriors, but when they landed on her, his expression tightened almost imperceptibly. He said nothing, yet his gaze lingered too long, too intent, as though he could peel back the layers of her resistance with sight alone. Calder stepped forward, bowing his head. Alpha Blackthorn, the warriors are ready. Kaelen gave a curt nod, then let us begin. The training was grueling. Kaelen pushed the warriors harder than any of them had expected, demanding precision, speed, and endurance beyond their limits. Sweat slicked skin, muscles quivered, and grunts of exertion echoed across the grounds. Serenya tried to keep her focus on the drills, but every time Kaelen's voice rang out, commanding, deep, sharp, her wolf stirred. His authority resonated inside her in a way no other alphas ever had. When Calder paired the warriors for sparring, Kaelen's gaze flicked to her again. Serenya, he said, his tone low and dangerous. With me. She froze. Around them murmur spread. For the Alpha himself to spar with her, everyone knew what it meant. Her pulse hammered as she stepped into the circle opposite him. Kaelen's stance was relaxed, almost casual, but his eyes burned silver fire. Ready? She lifted her chin. Always. The first clash was fast, his movements sharp, precise, testing. Serenya blocked, ducked, struck back with a fierceness born of defiance. He let her land blows, but she could feel the restraint in every parry, the control he clung to as tightly as his blade. You're holding back, she snapped, circling him. His mouth curved in the faintest smile. Am I? She lunged, striking hard. He countered effortlessly, twisting until his arm was at her back, his chest pressed to hers, his breath hot against her ear. Yield, he murmured. Her wolf howled, thrilled at the closeness. Sparks shot through her veins where his body touched hers. She shoved him away violently, gasping, "Never!" For a moment, the mask cracked. Kaelen's silver eyes darkened, his chest heaving. The bond flared between them, undeniable, hungry. Serenya staggered back, clutching her wrist where the witch's charm pulsed faintly. It burned hotter than before, the glow beneath her skin weak, flickering. Kaelen noticed. His gaze dropped to the mark, then back to her face, suspicion narrowing his eyes. You're hiding from me, little wolf. His voice was soft, but it carried danger. Serenya's throat tightened. She forced a smirk, though her heart pounded. That not everything revolves around you, Alpha. But her wolf betrayed her. Even as she tried to sneer, her body leaned subtly toward him, her pupils dilated, her pulse quickened. Kaelen's nostrils flared, scenting her arousal, her conflict. His growl rumbled low in his chest, primal and unrestrained. He took a step closer. She stumbled back. The circle around them had gone silent. Every warrior watched, sensing something more than sparring in the air. Calder shifted uneasily, his hand tightening on his blade. Kaelen's gaze pinned her like a predator cornering prey. His voice dropped to a growl only she could hear. You can fight me in this circle all you want, Serenya, but you cannot fight what burns between us. Not forever. Her knees weakened, her wolf howled in agreement, and for a terrifying, intoxicating heartbeat, she wanted to surrender. Then the charm seared against her skin, reminding her of the vow she had made. Serenya forced herself to break eye contact, shoving her blade up to meet his with a sharp clang. The spell wavered. The bond raged. The wolf inside her clawed at the cage. And for the first time, Serenya wondered if she could survive another day without breaking. The training session ended in restless silence. Warriors dispersed in twos and threes, whispering behind their hands, stealing glances at Serenya and their alpha. Calder called for order, his voice steady, but even he could not hide the unease in his eyes. Serenya sheathed her blade with shaking fingers. Her body still hummed from Kaelen's nearness, her wolf restless, prowling. She turned to leave, desperate for the cool solitude of the forest, when Kaelen's voice followed her. Serenya. She froze, but did not look back. Her heart pounded in her throat. I'm tired, she said quickly. I need rest. His steps approached, slow, deliberate. It isn't fatigue I smell on you. Her breath hitched. Heat flamed across her cheeks. Stay away from me. But he didn't. His presence loomed behind her, not touching, yet consuming all the same. His voice was lower now, almost ragged. I've stayed away longer than I thought myself capable. I've denied every instinct, every pull, every urge. But when you fight me, when you look at me with that fire in your eyes, God, Serenya, I want nothing more than to claim you. Her knees weakened, but she forced steel into her spine. You want control. You want obedience. I won't give you either. There was a pause, then a sound she had never expected from him, a quiet, bitter laugh. You think I want obedience? Little wolf, I command armies. I have kingdoms trembling at the edge of my borders. But it is you, the one who defies me, that I cannot control. That's what tears me apart. Her breath came shallow, uneven. For a dangerous second, she almost turned, almost let herself fall into his arms. But the faint burn of the charm at her wrist reminded her. Choice, freedom, promise. Without another word, she fled the circle. She did not stop until the forest swallowed her whole. The pines towered overhead, their needles whispering in the wind, their roots tangling like veins beneath her boots. She sank to her knees, clutching her wrist, the charm pulsing faintly. Damn you, she whispered, though she wasn't sure if she meant the witches or Kaelen. Maybe both. Her wolf pressed against the barrier, snarling in frustration. You're hurting us. He is ours. Ours. No, Serenya gasped, tears stinging her eyes. I can't. Not like this. Not when it's fate, and not me choosing. But deep down, she knew. Fate or not, choice or not, her heart had already begun to betray her resolve. The witches appeared that night when she called, drifting from the shadows like mist given form. Their voices wove together in eerie harmony. The bond is stronger than we warn, child. Already your magic frays. Already your wolf claws at the spell. Serenya's hands shook. Then strengthen it, please. I can't let it break. One witch, older than the rest, leaned close, her eyes pale and knowing. Are you so certain you wish to resist him? Or is it your pride that clings to freedom when your heart longs to surrender? Serenya's breath caught. I won't be caged. Perhaps, the witch murmured, but cages take many forms. Some are of iron, some are of love. Before Serenya could argue, the witches dissolved into mist again, leaving her trembling, alone with words that cut deeper than any blade.
Kaelen, meanwhile, stormed through the northern wing of the Stormfang fortress like a predator denied its prey. His wolf roared inside him, demanding, clawing, unrelenting. Take her, claim her, she is ours. He slammed his fists against the wall, stone cracking under the force. No, his voice was guttural, torn. Not until she chooses, not until she yields of her own will. But even as he said it, his body ached with the need to hold her, scent her, brand her as his. His restraint was a fragile thing, breaking thread by thread each time she pushed him away. And the worst of it, the thing that nearly destroyed him, was that he admired her for it. Her fire, her defiance, the way she met his gaze unflinching, even when the rest of the world bowed. She was the only one who had ever made him feel powerless, and gods, he craved her for it. Later that night, Serenya sat on the balcony outside her chambers, the moonlight silvering her hair. She thought she was alone until a shadow moved below. Kaelen stood in the courtyard, head tilted back, silver eyes locked on her. For a moment they simply stared, the bond humming like a living thing between them. Her lips parted, 100 words caught in her throat. She wanted to tell him to leave. She wanted to beg him to stay. Kaelen raised his hand, not a command, not a demand, but a silent promise, and then vanished into the night. Serenya pressed her trembling hands to her lips. Her wolf sighed in her chest, mournful and longing. He waits for us, it whispered. How much longer will you run? As night falls over Stormfang, the bond between Serenya and Kaelen grows stronger and more dangerous. The Alpha's restraint is crumbling, her magic is failing, and the question that haunts them both remains. Will love set them free, or be the cage they can't escape? If this chapter left your heart racing, hit that like button, subscribe to The Velvet Story, and tell us in the comments, do you think Serenya can keep resisting Kaelen's pull, or will the wolf finally claim what's his? Stay tuned for Chapter 7, When the Moon Demands Blood, only on The Velvet Story.